Hey y'all, I'm Rylan. Welcome back to my channel. I am over a week late on posting this video. I'm over a week late on even filming this video, but it's fine. I don't want to talk about it. It's been a very stressful last 2 weeks or so. I have not been on YouTube very much at all, and I haven't had time to film, but I'm here again. I'm back. I didn't actually take a break, but like I've been gone for a few weeks. So I'm here again, and I'm here to talk about my April TBR and hopefuls that I want to read this month. This month, I have created a very official TBR. Will I follow it? I don't know. Stay tuned to find out. But I have very large ambitions for this month, so we'll see if I follow through with them. I have 12 books, I think, that are on my official TBR, and then I also have a few hopefuls as well that I would like to get to if I have time. Not sure. This is my last month of college before I go home for summer, and so all of my final projects are going to start building up and I'm going to get really busy, but it's fine. I'm going to try to stay ahead of the game a little bit, and hopefully I can still get all of these or most of these books read. My book cart is also looking a little bit empty. That is because I went home last weekend and brought back a lot of my books and a lot of my stuff that I have in my dorm room in general. That way when I move out in the first week of May, it'll be a lot easier and I'll have less stuff. So I did that. So my book cart now looks manageable. So feeling pretty good about that. My desk is also very empty of books as well. So I'm feeling good about not hopefully having to pack like 20 boxes of books when I move out of my dorm room. But it's okay. It's fine. But yes, so let's go over the first 12 books that I do have planned to read this month if I have not already read them. I have already finished one book this month. As I'm filming this, it is currently April 7th, and I plan or hope to have this uploaded by April 9th. So I'm a little bit late, but that's okay. The first book that I did finish was Amari and the Night Brothers. The cover is so cute. This is a middle grade fantasy book about this girl named Amari whose brother Quentin went missing. I think it was like almost a year like before the story takes place, and so she is so determined to find him. And so when she learns that he was working for the supernatural bureau place, she wants to be part of it, and so she gets invited to go to this summer camp, I guess, for kids, and she wants to become a junior agent so she can find her brother. And there's a dark and evil force, bad people who want to do bad things, and so she becomes a major player in stopping them as well. And this book was so cute. I gave it 4 stars. I will say that if this book was not middle grade, if it was like young adult, I probably would have only given it 3 stars because I felt like there was so much more that I wanted to know about watching Amari develop her abilities and like watching her like learn, I guess, because she walked in knowing nothing about the supernatural world, and I feel like we hardly see any of her like really learning about all that kind of stuff. And I would have loved to get more details and descriptions about the supernatural, the Bureau of Supernatural Investigations or whatever. Oh, this Bureau of Supernatural Affairs. I would have loved to see like more about that place because it just sounded so magical, and I feel like I didn't get to see a lot of that, but it's okay. I still loved it. I cannot wait for book 2 to come out. I think there's going to be a sequel. I would assume there is because this is the first book, according to Goodreads, of a series. So yeah, I'm very happy that I picked this up and finally read it. Someone actually gifted me the hardback copy of the book, and it is beautiful. Look at the cover, the naked hardback. I love it. I really do. It's so cute. But anyway, this was the first book that I had on my TBR that I planned to read and did actually read. So that's awesome. The second book that I'll be reading this month, because I have already started it, is Black Sunshine. This is a dark romance standalone vampire novel about this girl named Lenore, and when she turns 21, I guess, she finds out that she is actually a vampire, but like she never knew it. And so she meets this guy whose name is Solon, S-O-L-O-N, I don't know. But I guess his crew of vampires kidnap her, and I mean, they fall in love, I assume. If this is not a happy ever after book, I'm gonna cry, but I'm hoping that it is. So I'm very excited to keep going in this one. I am like 24 pages into it so far, so I haven't gotten like super into it yet, but it is really good and I can't wait to see what continues to happen. Next, I'll be reading City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab, aka V.E. Schwab. This is a middle grade book. I don't know what it's about, but I need some like light short reads while I stress out over school and read some bigger books that I have in my pile. So I'm very excited for this one. It's about this girl who can see ghosts, and that's all I know about it. I also plan to finally read Scythe by Neil Shusterman. This is a sci-fi book that takes place in a world in which there's no death, no sickness, no anything that's bad, I don't think. And the only people who are allowed to end lives are scythes. And so when our two main characters, Citra and Rowan, become apprentices, they don't want to. Like, they don't want to be a scythe. They don't want to be scythes. So they learn like what it means to be one, and I think they probably have to kill people. I don't know. I haven't read it yet, obviously, so. Next, I hope to read Queenie by Candace Carty-Williams. I got this book from Book Depository at the beginning of this year and have not yet had a chance to read it. This is a contemporary fiction novel. I don't actually know what it's about, but I have heard very good things about it, so I had to get it. And I really love the pink cover of this book versus the US edition, which is orange. I don't know. I really like this cover a lot, so I decided to get it from Book Depository, and I'm very glad that I did. The last two physical books that I like are set in stone to be read this month for me are two books that my book club, which I will link in the description below, are reading this month. And the first one that we're reading is A Touch of Darkness. I have heard such amazing things about this book in this series. This is a Hades and Persephone dark romance retelling. I recently read An Arc of Neon Gods, which is another Hades and Persephone retelling written by Katie Robert. So I'm very excited to see how this author, Scarlett St. Clair, like writes about these characters in this retelling, and I've heard it's wonderful. I've heard it's so steamy, so I cannot wait for this one. Our second book club pick for this month is A Heart of Blood and Ashes by Mila Vane. This is a Viking barbarian dragon romance story. There's a lot of trigger warnings for it, but I'm prepared obviously going into it now that I know them, so I think this is gonna be really good. It is a mass market paperback, which we appreciate, but it is a little bit thicker and the text is kind of tiny, but it's okay. I'm very excited to read this. I love romance. Obviously, I've talked about it on my channel quite frequently. Romance is one of my favorite genres, so I'm very excited to read both of those, and they're both series, so if I love them, then I will definitely be picking up their sequels. If I love this one, even though it's on Kindle Unlimited, I'm definitely gonna have to buy the physical books because I bought the first one for the book club, and it's so pretty. It's so pretty. They're both stunning. I mean, all my books I think are just so pretty, and I'm very excited to read them. Okay, so I lied. I forgot to put one of my books into this pile here, but I am also currently reading My Friend Anna. This is a true crime book about our author, whose name is Rachel Williams, who was conned out of tens of thousands of dollars, I think, by Anna, who was a fake heiress and a con artist. So I'm very excited to read all of this. It's a pretty short book. It's only like 275 pages, I think. I also have the audiobook that I'm listening to as I read the physical book as well. So I'm excited to finish this one up, if not today, hopefully by tomorrow or Friday, so yay. Okay, so the last few books that are on my set TBR for this month are ARCs. So they're digital ARCs that I have from NetGalley, or they are library books that I'm reading on Libby. So this first book that I have on my list of ARCs / digital library books that I want to read this month is Left for Dead. This is a mystery about this serial killer who kills women, and this private investigator, this detective, is trying to figure out who is behind the murders. I'm already 30% of the way through this book. It is told in rotating perspectives. You've got the detective, you have the serial killer, you have the serial killer's wife, and I think that's it. But it's pretty good so far. I'm hoping to finish it tonight. That's my goal. I am listening to the audiobook of it because that book was published a long time ago, but I had like the NetGalley arc from last year, so I just got the audiobook to listen to because I need to kind of knock out some of my very backlisted NetGalley arcs. So I'm trying to do that a little bit this month, so this is one of those backlisted NetGalley arcs that I do have. Next, I plan to read Caraval for a reading vlog that will be uploaded closer to the end of this month. This is a fantasy book. I have no idea what it's about, but it is one of my really good friend Stasia's favorite book slash series. She has like 40 copies. I swear she probably has more than 40 copies of these books in her library. So I'm very excited to read it. I don't know what it's about, but Stasia loves it, and she does not read a lot of fantasy, so I am assuming that I will probably love it as well. I am borrowing Caraval on Libby, so I'll be reading the ebook of that, and maybe I can borrow the audiobook as well. I don't know, we'll see. The next NetGalley book that I plan to read is Marked, a Russian mafia romance. No idea what it's about, but one night, probably at like 2 or 3 a.m., because that is when I always succumb to my NetGalley requesting sprees, I went to the romance section and I was just scrolling through and looking at covers, and I found and requested some that looked really interesting to me just to see if I would get them. Not actually really knowing what they're about, but I like mafia romances. I've only read a few, but I have for the most part liked what I read, so I'm very excited to read this book hopefully this month. Well, I will be reading it this month. I need to read it this month. It's just a matter of when will I be reading it this month. But we'll figure that out later. I also plan to read an arc of The Dead Season, which is the second book in the Shauna Merchant series by Tessa Wiegert. This is a mystery novel. The first one was a sort of isolated whodunit mystery about this family on an island, and our main detective, Shauna Merchant, she has a very dark past involving a serial killer who came after her, and I believe in the second novel he is back. So I'm very excited to see how the story continues. I have read the first one, like I already mentioned. I read that at the end of last year and really enjoyed it, so I'm very excited to finally pick up the sequel because I do have an arc of it on NetGalley. I also hope to read an arc of The Best of Friends by Lucinda Berry. I think it was marked as a thriller, but it could also be women's fiction, which oftentimes I feel like a lot of books that are considered women's fiction are also kind of mystery or thrillerish. Like for example, I have an arc of The Good Sister by Sally Hepworth, and it's marked as women's fiction slash journal fiction, but I'm pretty sure that Sally Hepworth writes books with more thriller slash mystery elements because I have read one for other books and it was 100% a slow burn thriller. So I'm expecting this book, The Best of Friends, to be kind of the same. I have the digital arc of it on my Kindle. This is also one of my very backlisted NetGalley arcs that I need to get through, so that is my plan for this one as well. And finally, on my official TBR for this month, I would like to read Float Plan. This is a contemporary romance that I've heard is very emotional and goes very deep, so I'm very excited to pick that one up and read it. The cover is so pretty. It just reminds me of summer, which is what I'm very ready for right now. I'm ready to be done, and I'm ready to move out of this dorm room and back home for a few months. So that is the last arc slash book that is on my TBR for April, my official TBR for this month, because I do have a few book of the month hopefuls that I would also like to get to this month. Okay, hi, I just finished filming this video, but I just realized I'm not gonna sit back down all the way because this is gonna take like 30 seconds or something like that. But I forgot to mention, I will also be reading P.S. I Like You by Casey West and With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo for a reading vlog I have coming out with Caraval this month. I don't know why I didn't mention them. They're literally written on my notes app with my TBR for this month, but it's fine, it's okay. I'm going to be borrowing both of those books from my library because although I do own Caraval and With the Fire on High, they're both in storage back at home and I don't have access to them at the moment, so I'm going to be reading all three of those books for that reading vlog. Yeah, on my iPad. So keep an eye out for that vlog that will be coming out on April 23rd, I think is the uploading date that we all planned for that. and by we, y'all will see later what I mean, but it doesn't matter right now. But anyway, yes, I also will be reading those 2 books that I forgot to mention in this TBR video, and that is all. Okay, goodbye. So let's talk about those now. The first book on my book of the month hopeful list this month is The Lost Apothecary. This is a new release. It is a historical fantasy book that I've heard is more historical than fantasy, I'm pretty sure, but the cover is gorgeous, 100% beautiful. There is a random bug on the back of it. Sorry for my nails too, they're kind of gross, but that's okay. All I know is that it's about poison. A forgotten history, a secret network of women, a legacy of poison and revenge. Welcome to The Lost Apothecary. This one is not super thick, so I think this will be an easy read. I might get the audiobook to listen to along with reading it as well. So I am very excited and hopeful that I'll get to this one this month, but if not, then it's fine. Next, I hope to read The Bad Muslim Discount. This is a contemporary fiction novel about 2 Muslim immigrants living in San Francisco. The cover of this book is just so beautiful and I'm very excited to read it. I've heard some really good things and I love a good contemporary book, so I have high hopes for this one. I also hope to read The Dating Plan. This is a contemporary romance that has fake dating / a fake engagement, I'm pretty sure. That's all I know about it, but the cover, obviously, I buy books because of the covers. It's okay though. It is also a book of the month book, so I am of course limited in the options of books that, you know, we can choose each month, but I love romance, and so I got this book, of course, and I haven't read a ton of books with the fake dating / fake engagement trope, so I'm very excited to dive into this book. I also, if all things go to plan, I would really love to read Black Buck. This is another contemporary fiction novel about a black salesman working in an office in maybe like New York. Yeah, in New York. This book has been very popular on Instagram recently, and I have just heard such wonderful things about it. So I got it from Book of the Month. I think the month that it came out. I could be wrong about that. I got it in Book of the Month in the past because I own it, but yeah, I am looking forward to reading this one as well. The cover is so pretty. I love all the colors. I don't know, I love like these very light and pretty colors on these books, so I'm very excited to hopefully read all of these. And if I don't read them this month, then it's definitely going to happen in May or June when I am finally done with school for a while, so I'm very excited about that. The last book of the month book that I am hoping I get to this month is The Death of Vivek Oji. This is another book of the month pick. It is very short. This is a literary fiction, I think, novel. I've heard it's so good. I've heard it's so hard and emotional and just heartbreaking, so I am ready to cry. I don't know what this book is about, but I do know that it takes place in Nigeria, and I had just heard such powerful and emotional things about it on Instagram that I knew I needed to get my hands on a copy of it, so I did. I love this cover too. Like, come on, just so pretty. I love it. But anyway, I hope to read this one as well. We'll see if I can read these 5 book of the month books on top of my official TBR, but my official TBR is definitely going to be my first focus for this month, and these are just book of the month books I would love to read if I end up having extra time on my hands. So yes, those are the books on my TBR for this month. Thank you so much for watching. I apologize for how late this video is getting uploaded, but it's okay. It's alright. College sucks. That's all I'm gonna say. But yes, thank you so much for watching. If you also plan to read any of these books this month, let me know in the comments down below. I would love to do a buddy read. If you have already read any of these books and want to let me know your thoughts on them, please also feel free to share with me. I would love to hear what other people think about these books. The next few weeks are going to be very crazy, but regardless, I hope to be uploading at least one video every single week, so make sure you are subscribed to my channel in order to be notified when I post new videos, and hopefully I will see y'all in a few days.